Hey everyone, it's Waffle Rome. Welcome back to another tutorial for your art design. Now, if you haven't seen the basic design tutorial, sure to see that right now, because I covered some of the basics that I'll assume that you already know about Paint.net with the Vandermountain plugin. So let's get started on some more advanced things. So now here I've got a screenshot from my game. Okay? Now, this is just going to be the background for a thumbnail. So let's show you a few more effects that you can do. We're going to go for the blur section and the distort section and the artistic section. Okay? Now in artistic, my favorite of like everything here is ink sketch. You can adjust the ink outline, like the shading and stuff, and the color, which I like to have near full. And then the ink outline, just a little bit, like right here. That already looks amazing. So that's already my favorite of all of these. So second is oil painting. I think it's okay. I mean, it's a nice looking blur. If you pull it up all the way, that looks really cool actually. So if you like that look, then oil painting is one for you. If you want pencil sketch, this actually looks pretty epic. So let's say that we want to up this a little bit. It looks like you just sketched this in pencil. That's pretty good. Now we're going to move on to blur. So average blur you've already seen. Fragment, this is actually really cool. So say you wanted to do a thumbnail where it's like you have double vision, then do that. Just put up the distance a little bit. If you want to just fragment this a little bit, like let's say you want to turn it up to like 3 times, give it a little bit of distance. You know, this can make some really cool stuff, or you can just use it for a blur. That works too. Next is Gaussian blur. This is actually a better average blur. However, it's more, you don't have as much control over it. It's a lot more sensitive, the bar is. Next is the motion blur. I personally don't like this one. You can change the angle of it, the distance, and it looks like there's motion happening. If you like that sort of look, there's some better ones for it than going like that. So, let me just undo that. Yeah, so I don't really like that one. Next is the radial blur. I think this one's okay. So here you can adjust what it's centered around. And there's a little preview thing here. So say I want to set it on the rocket. I would adjust this till the arrow thing is pointing on it. And then here you can adjust the angle, which I think is pretty pointless. And you should usually just have it on like 1 or 2 the whole time. So we'll set it to 2 and that'll look, yeah, fine. I don't think it's the best. Next is a smart blur. Now this is called the smart blur because it's like 100% adjustable. It's pretty nice if you want to customize your blur personally. Next is the surface blur. It's called that because it doesn't really go in deep. If you see what I mean? It just, you still get the basic outline, and so it's not really blurring your whole thing. You know what I mean? That could be useful in some ways. Unfocus is basically just any other blur, just unfocuses. And then for our final blur, we have the zoom blur, which is one of my favorites. So you can choose your target. Say I want the rocket here. I would use the arrow thing here. Then I can choose my zoom amount. Say we want 24. And then everyone's going to focus on the rocket. So that's one of my favorites of the blurs. Now here's my favorite part, is distort. Here's bulge, where you can make a certain area bulge out, duh. You can do the arrow thing again, choose how much it is. You know, you can, I wouldn't consider using this very often, but if I did, it would be to distort something. I don't know why I would though, but I might need to sometime in the future. Next is crystallize. Now, it looks pretty cool. This is like your holographic tile in your shower. This one looks freaking epic. Next one that we've got on distort is dense. This is one of my favorites. Now, it actually sort of looks like a reflection in water. So if you want to use it like that, then that would definitely work. So next is, where are we? Frosted glass. This I personally really like. It makes it look like, you know, you're looking through frosted glass, duh. It just gives it a nice texture if you don't want it to be focused. Next we got pixelate, which, I mean, it should be pretty obvious what it does. It pixelates things. There we go. You've got, like, your bad quality everything. If you want to make it look more 8-bit, then that's the one for you. Next is polar inversion. Not so sure I like this one. It's very weird. I'm just gonna say that much. It's very weird. So here it's like sucking it up into a black hole or something. I'm not sure. Reflect and clamp. I don't know. I don't think that one's very useful. Tile reflection. This one's it's actually pretty cool. So you can like make tile overlays. You can like choose the tile size, the curvature. You know, this can be pretty cool. I can definitely see using that. Next, you've got twist, which you can just like twist stuff. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You just twist it. And then, now I think we've covered all of that. Now, here are a couple more. I want to show you in stylize emboss. Now, this turns everything into like metal. It's pretty cool looking if you want to make something metalized. That is like really cool. And then I think that's all that I needed to show you. Yeah, it is. So now I'm going to mimic a thumbnail. Now, if at any time you want to get better at thumbnail making, you've got to learn some of the pro tactics that people make with like Photoshop and stuff, and learn how to make it for free. So that's what I'm going to do right now. First off, we're going to start with the word highlights. So I selected plump and size 115 font. So we're going to type in highlights. Now what I like to do is take the eraser tool and erase every other letter. So let me do this because I'm bad and I won't be able to do it when I'm recording. Next, I'm going to do a simple process where I'm going to open up a new layer, type one of the letters that I erased, so in this example an I, then I'm going to rotate it a little bit, put it back in the area, merge layers down, then create a new layer and repeat. There we go. So now I've got the word highlights. Next thing I'm going to do is select it with magic wand and give it a little bit of a gradient. There we go. He's also got a little bit of a light blue border. So let's give it a little bit of a light blue border. I think that's about the right color. And then that's about the right size. Next, he's also got a pretty thick black border. So we should be able to just take black and make it a thick, like 10. And then he's also got a thin white border of like 5. So let's put that in. I don't know what that little dot down there is about, so I can pretty easily just take the eraser tool and get rid of it. There we go. I think we've got that word. Now we can just object align, center it horizontally. I think we've got it. Next, we're going to do the word mega. Now, arguably, I think this one's going to be a little bit harder. So we're going to do the same thing as before. We're going to write out the word mega. We're going to put this in the area we want it to. Except this time, we're going to erase it as we did last time and do the exact same thing. Now that I've got the text good, we're going to take this tool and we're going to put a rectangle in a new layer. So we've got the area selected, we can easily rectangle a new area. Now, you're probably thinking why I've got this here. So I can go like that, I could throw a gradient into it. Because if you look, there's actually a gradient right here. Now we're going to merge these layers down now that we've got that perfected. We did effects, object, drop shadow. We've got that thick, 10 big, and then we've got the thin one, drop shadow. The white one, that's only 5 long. There we go. Now I've actually just realized that the white borders on them actually connect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo this white border and I'm going to connect the two. Good, so merge layers down. Effects, object, drop shadow. There we go, we got that. So now let's add a background. Now currently in my screenshot pack, I don't have that exact map. So I'm just going to take a screenshot that I've got from the game and just call that good enough. Since I don't, right now I'm working on my screenshot pack, but I don't got the exact map that's used in that thumbnail. So I'm throw this in the background. Now he has blurred it a little bit. However, I don't feel like using that kind of blur. I feel like using the dense one, so we're going to lower down the refraction a little bit. Make it look a little bit watery. Got that? Now he's also got a border. But guess what? I don't feel like making a border. So that's why I created this image a long time ago. All you do is you paste it into a new layer, and boom, you've got a border on your thumbnail. Pretty useful, ain't it? So there we go. We've got mega highlights, and I think we've basically captured the whole thing and put it into a new image. So if you want to improve, be sure to take someone else's work, and that includes things they've never done before, and then you want to try and replicate it. So now something I just realized that isn't in here is that on this, on the gray text, I don't have it, what do you call it, gradiented. So let's fix that. Well, I guess that isn't happening, because Magic Wand doesn't want to cooperate right now. So I guess that's gonna round off this video right now. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like down below. Be sure to comment down below what tutorial you guys want me to do next. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!